will start to split higher and higher up your hair shaft, like this. Hey guys, Karen from Curl House. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a certified trichologist. And people ask me all the time, why won't my hair grow? Now, as you know, hair grows from the scalp and it's retained from the bottom. So when people ask me that question, what they're really asking is, why can't I retain length? And one of the things, the first thing that I'll ask them is, when's the last time you got a trim? Do y'all know how important getting a trim is to length retention? I know it kind of sounds counterproductive. You're trying to grow your hair out and then you're cutting your hair at the same time. But I want to show you in a way hopefully you have never seen before, why it is important to get a trim. And to do that, I am going to bring out my very favorite client, Tanika. So here we go. Tanika is back. And Tanika is going to help us understand why you need to trim your hair. So, in addition to Tanika, I do need some helping hands. So give me one moment so I can bring in some help to hold Tanika so that I can do my demonstration for you. Okay, so my helping hands are here. I know you can't see the helping hands, but my husband is holding Tanika while I do this demonstration. Okay, so what we have here, I use yarn to braid or twist Tanika's hair. Now the yarn represents a hair strand, right? So what happens with a hair strand? When you need a trim, your ends start to split. Can you see this? They start to split, and they can look very similar to this or this. All right, this is actually some actual pictures of some split ends under a microscope. This is what a split end actually looks like. As you can see in those pictures that I just showed, this is what they look like. So what happens, they can do this, they can split right in half, or a lot of times they split in half. And because a hair strand is not just one strand, it's made up of a lot of tiny layers or fibers. The hair can split, and then that part can split, very similar to this, and very similar to this yarn. Do you see how it's just snapping right off in my hands? That is exactly what your hair does when you need a trim. It'll start to snap off. And if you don't get it trimmed, then that split end, which could start out very small, will start to split higher and higher up your hair shaft, like this. So if you don't get a trim, then what happens, again, that hair splits higher up the hair shaft, and then you have to trim off more. And when you have to trim off more, that is when you're losing your length. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to get in a habit of getting a trim regularly. Tanika, is there anything you have to say about getting a trim? You don't have any words for me? Okay, you'll stay quiet. Okay, so anyway, I encourage you all, get in a habit of getting a trim. You can get a trim, I typically recommend once a quarter, so every 3 months, or you can do it every 4 months. Some people who are constantly twisting and retwisting and constantly restyling their hair, then they may get a trim every 2 months, but determine what your trim cycle is and get in a habit of trimming your hair. And that way, you will retain the length that you grow. Now, in general, you shouldn't be trimming off inches. When your hair starts splitting higher and higher up the hair shaft like this, that is when you're trimming off inches. If you get in the habit of getting a trim about once a quarter, you're only trimming off a little bit, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, not a lot. So if you want to retain more length, get in the habit of trimming your hair. And do not be like Tanika, y'all. Don't be like this. Don't not trim your ends. Make sure you get those end trims trimmed regularly so your hair will grow long and healthy. Okay? You sure you don't have anything to say, Tanika? Okay, we're good for the day. All right, y'all. I just wanted to drop in to encourage you to get a trim. I hope you like this video and this little demonstration with my trusted client, Tanika. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And until we talk again, stay fabulous. You stay fabulous too.